Hey, good day. Thanks for joining us on KION. It's time to talk tech with Luis Alvarez, CEO of the Alvarez Technology Group. Luis, welcome aboard to Monday. Great to have you with us.
Happy to be here, Mark. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, you sent me an article over the weekend from CNN.com how the FBI caught Ross Ulbricht, the alleged creator of the criminal marketplace Silk Road. Give us a little background on what Silk Road is and why it's called that.
Well, this happened a couple of weeks ago, and in the technology world, it was a huge deal, but it did press because it's a very complicated and kind of in the dark type of activity. Ross Ulbricht created think of it as a underground marketplace, place where people could buy and trade illegal substances, everything from drugs to guns to hacker tools, all sorts of things. It's kind of like a black market Amazon.com. And he had that out there for a few years, and people were using it to buy and trade all these things. And the FBI finally was able to nail him and shut down this enterprise, which they say grossed over $1 billion and generated over $100 million worth of profits just for him and the people that he was working with.
And one of the interesting things was he facilitated this through a different type of currency or pseudo-currency, I guess we could call it. And didn't he use Bitcoin a lot to facilitate this?
He did. In fact, all of the transactions were done using Bitcoin. And if you don't know what Bitcoin is, it is an artificial currency that was created for this kind of thing. It's a way for people to buy and trade goods. And instead of using credit cards or hard cash, they're able to use Bitcoins. And Bitcoins have a value. They're traded on the stock market just like, any other commodity. And right after Silk Road was shut down, Bitcoin actually took a pretty big hit, losing over 20% of its value.
Wow.
But it's since recovered because the fear was that Silk Road was really a bigger player in the Bitcoin trade than it turned out to be. So it seems like the investors that back these kind of commodities decided it wasn't so bad after all.
So people were thinking, oh my gosh, 90% of, as an example, what if 90% of Bitcoin activity is Silk Road and Silk Road's gone now? Our investment is worthless. And then I guess over a period of time, for a few days, they discover, well, that's not the case. It may have been a major player, but it wasn't such a major player that it would irreparably damage the business of Bitcoin when it went away.
Yeah, and despite the activities of Silk Road and very similar other black market marketplaces, Bitcoin has legitimate uses and people have been trading in it for several years. So this is like nothing more than somebody using a credit card to buy illegal substances. You can't blame the credit card. It is what it is.
Do you know anyone who's used Bitcoin and what their experience has been with it?
I do, actually. I have a few people that work for me that are avid traders on Bitcoin, and they trade it like you and I might have done the stock market before we got smart in our old age. Just every day they go online and they buy and then sell and watch the price go up or down and make a little bit of money. Or,
okay.
You can cash out at any time if you have somebody that's willing to buy your Bitcoins.
So that's the appeal in it. It's just another investment vehicle, but it may be kind of something that's new and shiny and sexy.
Exactly.
Well, we've been talking with Luis Alvarez, CEO of the Alvarez Technology Group. It's alvareztg.com. Isn't that right, Luis?
That's correct. Or give us a call at 866-78-ITEAM. That's 866-784-8326. 8483.